Yep. We lost to a good football team tonight that did not make any mistakes. We knew going into the game, obviously, one of the glaring stats that's in their favor is the turnover margin. They were plus 12 going into this game. Obviously, first in our league. They're plus 3 today. We felt good about our game plan going in. We really felt like, obviously, we could run the ball, and we felt like we could have some shots in the passing game. We knew we were going to face man-to-man coverage. We had executed those throughout the practice week. I thought we built a lot of confidence. I thought our guys had one of the best weeks of practice that we've had around here. We went out today, and unfortunately we didn't execute at a high level like we needed to in order to have a chance to win against a football team like Western Michigan. So my hat is off to them. Coach Fleck, his staff have done a great job. A lot of these kids that took the field for Western Michigan tonight were part of that team 4 seasons ago when they were 1-11, and they've done a great job of developing their players. They've grown from within, and those guys that had some tough times a few years back are enjoying some success right now. So my hat's off to them. I don't want to take anything away from them. Our guys competed for 4 quarters. I am disappointed. I expect to win all of them. And listen, that's not to take anything away from them. And in some cases, they're better at areas, and they've got better personnel in some spots right now than we do. But I expected us to go out and execute. And obviously, when we had the turnovers there in the first half, and we obviously were in scoring position and on their side of the field, and didn't come away with points. So we'll look at it. But our guys know that we got to get back to work. Our focus has got to be now on Eastern Michigan. We got a home game next Tuesday night. We got to get to 5-5. That's our focus. That's our mindset. There's a lot to play for here. I told our guys, there's no secrets. There's no shortcuts to success, man. Roll your sleeves up. Be ready to go to work. Demand that of yourself every day. Make sure you have the right attitude, right mindset, the right kind of effort when you come in this building every single day. We'll get where we want to go. It hurts tonight. It stings, especially when we're on ESPN2. Have a chance to showcase Ball State University. We didn't capitalize on the moment, so I'm disappointed. But we're going to fight, we're going to compete, we're going to scratch, and we're going to get there.
Coach, with Jack, he starts his first game of the year against a really good Western team. How do you
Correct.
think he stepped up in that moment?
Well, listen, I thought he had a better week of practice than what he showed on the field today. He made some of those throws that he missed early in the game, starting with the first play of the game to Kevon. He made that throw over and over and over in practice. Felt good about it. Obviously, he missed a couple others. Damon, felt like we had a couple opportunities with him that we missed. Swetney was questionable whether, he got snugged a little bit from the back of the jersey. I don't know until I see the film, but, we made that one in practice. So we knew we were going to face a team that was going to play us man coverage. They simply feel better about their personnel, thinking they can match up and they can bring an extra defender pass rush-wise when they're able to play man coverage like that. So we just simply didn't execute the way that we had in practice.
Did you appreciate his willingness to kind of take those deep shots?
Yeah, because we know that, obviously we know that how difficult it is to have 12, 13 good plays and have 12, 13 plays that you execute at high level and continue to have those and go down the field and score touchdowns. That's not easy to do. So we got to be willing to take some chances in some one-on-one situations. If it's a back shoulder ball based on the technique of the corner, then so be it. And we had some chances. We just didn't execute. And it comes down to me obviously trying to create a confidence level in practice when we execute that way, and we got to carry it over to the game. When the lights are a little bit brighter, that's when guys play at their best.
At what point did you realize that Riley wouldn't be able to play, and what's his status?
Well, coming into the week, obviously he was limited. He got banged up at the end of that game on a 2-point play, and he was limited in practice, and it was his plant leg. And so when he was out for about 3 days, he was out for the first 2 days, and he came back limited the third, the fourth day. And yes, we had a couple extra days because of the week, and we had a longer week. But when you're going through and facing from a coverage standpoint, man coverage, the way we knew we were going to face going into this game, it just came more than anything down to Jack being 100% as opposed to Riley being, who knows, 70, 75%, who knows what he would be. Now, he's a tough kid. We all know. I know that. He's tough, and he wanted to get back out there, but simply it was a decision, that I made early to midway through the week, and said I felt like Jack at 100% would give us the best chance.
He was in uniform. Could he possibly have played tonight?
Well, he would have been if something would have happened to Jack or to Jack in the game, then obviously Riley would have been in there. So that was a plan going into the game, and certainly his reps were limited in practice this week. Jack took the majority of the reps in practice this week.
Coach, how difficult is it to prepare for a player like Corey Davis who can just?
Well, he's good. He's good. You try to limit his big plays. You try not to let their best players beat you. And obviously, you got to pick your poison there. So if you want to, they got a good running game. They're number one in the conference for a reason. They got a two-headed monster there. They got a big back, and they got two guys that can run the ball. So you got to pick your poison there. You got to try to limit the big plays down the field to a guy like Corey. And you also know that you got to have hats to the ball because the guy's physical. They're both physical. They run hard. They run through contact. They break tackles. They've done it all year. It's been on film. So listen, we just tried to limit, and one of the best ways to do that is to get some pass rush too. I thought there was a stretch there where we got a little bit of pressure on their guy. But obviously we needed to make it uncomfortable in the pocket for him so he didn't have time to find those guys down the field.
Coach, what was the difference between the first and second quarter? First quarter, gave up 21 points defensively. Second quarter, only 7, and you got 3 punts, excuse me. What was kind of the difference there?
Well, we gave up a pick 6 the first drive of the game. We're moving, and Jack made a poor decision. He forced a ball to the outside on third down there. It was a comeback route. He missed inside. He took it back to the house. You can't miss inside. If you're going to miss, you got to miss outside or throw it away. But the last thing that can happen is a turnover right there. So when that happened, we obviously put our defense in a bind, and it comes down really, I don't know that there was anything really different other than, they hit on a couple big plays there too that, if you look at time possession at halftime, it didn't tell the whole story because they had a couple big plays where they were quick hitters, and then we were back out there, so we had a big advantage time of possession-wise, but we needed to score more points, and we did not get that done when we had some opportunities.
You've left the door open a couple of times in the last few weeks of switching over to Jack as your starting quarterback. Did he, now that he got the opportunity today, do anything today that either changed your mind or
But no matter who's playing, we can't have turnovers. I mean, that's critical when you're playing that position and you want to play weekly and you want to be in the lineup. The best way to do that is to eliminate turnovers and give your team a chance to win, execute drives, take the plays, and make the plays that are available on the field. So it comes down to execution. We have to eliminate turnovers. So it wouldn't matter who was in there. We have to take care of the turnover situation. That's been a problem for us. We have to get that fixed.
Mike, the MAC doesn't always produce a team like this Western Michigan team where they're ranked high in the polls, and they're talking about a New Year's Day bowl game. But every year there's one or two teams that kind of clearly establish themselves. Did this kind of open the eyes of maybe some of your underclassmen to show them where you need to go as a program?
Well, that's the first thing I said to our guys when I got in the locker room after the game, that Western Michigan beat us tonight. They're a successful team. The reason they're where they're at is because, yes, they have good football players, but yet they don't make mistakes. They don't beat themselves. I said, we're going to get there. And we need guys that are willing to come in, pay the price, work hard. There's no secrets to success. It's about hard work, development, our strength and conditioning program, putting in the time, demanding that of yourself. Demand excellence of yourself. You have a 4 or 5 year window here in your life. Make the most of it because you got 40 or 50 years after that to enjoy it. So take advantage of the opportunity to work hard every day. Don't take it for granted. Make sure you're reaching your full potential both on and off the field. So by the time you graduate, you're a champion and you're set up for life after football when that day arrives.
Coach, you had a couple fourth down attempts that got stuffed.
Mhm.
It's not going to show up in the box score, but it feels like if you could have converted those, the game might have looked a lot
Yeah,
different.
no question. Obviously 4th and 1, and James and our offensive line had done a good job up to that point. I believe in those guys. I said that the last game where I stood up here in 4th and 1. I believe in our guys, and I also believe that it's going to take touchdowns in order to beat a team like Western Michigan. We can't settle for just a field goal when there's that big of a gap right there at the time. So we got to make sure we got to execute when we have an opportunity like that. I tell the guys all the time, it's a mindset. It's a mindset. They're digging their heels. They're digging their fingers in the dirt just like we are. It's about who's going to win the surge, who's going to play on the other side of the line of scrimmage. That's who's going to win in that particular situation. So it's a mindset. Our guys know that, and we didn't execute right there.
With Martez being could you feel his absence?
Well, Martez's leadership, a calming presence for the young players in the back end. That's what he provides as much as anything else, and he's consistent. We know who Martez is. We know what we're going to get out of him. So, yes, we missed him in the first half there, but, he did the best job he could of staying into it mentally, getting himself loose, so when halftime rolled around, he knew he was ready to go out, get stretched out, and get ready to play.
Take one more question. Coach, how difficult is it to evaluate your players, after playing a team like Western Michigan, who puts the kind of performances they do on the field week in, week out?
Well, there's a lot of things that were good on tape, and I know we'll be excited about some things that we put on tape from tonight's game. We had 500 yards of offense, but the problem is we can't have turnovers. That's what gives sour grapes. That's what makes you toss and turn at night. That's what's going to make me toss and turn tonight and not be able to wait and to get back in here tomorrow morning, attack the film, and start full speed ahead on Eastern Michigan. But it is what it is. It's a dose of medicine that I have to swallow, even though I don't want to. But we're going to learn from it. We're going to get better from it. We're going to be real with ourselves. We're going to fight that man in the mirror and make sure that we move on quickly and make sure we're at our best when we get back to the practice field here on Thursday.
And I know we could probably ask you about this after every game, but you guys put up almost 300 yards rushing against a defense that only gives up about 130 a game. So is that one of the things that you think you guys did well? I mean, obviously.
I think our guys have done a great job from the beginning of the season against Georgia State. I'm proud of the young offensive linemen, their development, where they're at, in terms of the program, and 3 guys playing new positions or starting for the first time. I'm very proud of that group, and yes, they've been very consistent in terms of running the ball weekly, and James Gilbert's been very consistent weekly. I love the look in James's eye, and we just need to make sure that James is one of those guys that's been consistent. Now we need to get everybody else at that level. That's the goal, is to make sure all of our guys reach their full potential. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Yep, thank you.